The special mayor's minutes for the city of Brooklyn Park talks about the upcoming bond referendum. Jody Younger's joining us, Recreation Park Director for the city of Brooklyn Park. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Let's give people some background first to start with. This has been talked about for quite some time and has some important dates in the past that it refers to. Give us the background that people need to know about the park bond referendum.
Sure, great. I think what's really important for the community to understand is that back in 1997, the community did vote for a park bond referendum that does sunset. It's been 20 years and 14 years since some major investment in the park system. As we were looking at a meeting with the community, they clearly identified community priorities through our park system planning process and then in our community polling. And so those priorities are what is on the ballot.
And that would be what would happen if there is a yes vote. So give us some of those priorities. What are some of the specifics that would be improved if this passes?
Sure. So the community identified about 5 or 6 specific areas of improvements. The first one is to really preserve and protect our natural resources, making sure that those are in fact maintained and stayed healthy within our communities. Also expansion and closing gaps within our bike and trail system within the community, including wayfinding, so people know where the trails do go, and that was really important to the community. They also talked about the need to reinvest in the broader park system, which is our neighborhood parks, looking at adding shelter facilities and also refreshing some of our aging infrastructure within the system. They also talked about the importance of basketball courts and keeping our activity areas where youth and adults can still stay active within our community, in particular our pickleball courts, our basketball courts, and tennis courts. The community also talked a lot about the importance of having places where our young people can stay active. And so there is money designated for potentially a second teen center within our community. The Zanewood Recreation Center is very, very busy and overwhelmed. And lastly is to invest in the Item Farm. It's a crown jewel within our community. It's a historic farm, and making sure that we provide some of the support facilities for visitors. Currently we use satellites, and we'd like to put in some public restrooms and some other amenities. And so that's the priorities, and that's about $26 million.
And some of those points too refer to the Community Activity Center as well, and so the need for some space additions there, some changes, and also some help for the seniors there.
Exactly. The Community Activity Center is something the community really wants to see as really truly a community place to gather.
If you want to take a look at all of those points of emphasis, you can go to the city's website, brooklynpark.org. Also information there of what happens if there is a no vote. So again, great place to get some information. Jody, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Learn more about The Connection at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.